Hey everybody! So I've been getting a lot of positive feedback from this, and I just want to say thank you. And we're going to continue doing it as long as I can, how people are enjoying. So today's book is a really cool one. We're going to deal with perspectives, and here we go. This is called The True Story of the Little Pigs. Here we go. Everybody knows the story of the three little pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody's ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but I'm telling you, it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diets. Hey, it's not my fault that wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. It's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think we were big and bad too. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. So this is the real story. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold, and I, Alexander T. Wolf, ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. I mean, can you believe it? Who in his right mind would build a house of straw? So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called out, "Little pig! Little pig! Are you in?" There was no answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. And that's when it started. My nose began to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. While I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed a great sneeze. Achoo! And wouldn't you know what? The whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig. He was dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. Well, it seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger, just lying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar, so I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother, and he was a little smarter, but not much. He built his house out of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house, and nobody answered. So I called out, "Mr. Pig! Mr. Pig! Are you in?" He yelled back, "Go away, Wolf! You can't come in! I'm shaving the hairs of my tinny tin chin!" I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. Achoo! And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. And when the dust clears, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. Now, you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open, so I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, and my cold was feeling a little better, and I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family because he built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, "Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in?" And you know what that rude little porker answered? "Get out of here, Wolf. Don't bother me again." Talk about impolite. I mean, he probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't give me even one little cup for my dear, sweet old granny's birthday cake? What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed once again. Achoo! Then the third little pig yelled, "And your old granny can sit on the pin!" Why? Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I kind of go a little crazy. So when the cops drove up, I, of course, was trying to break down this pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. The rest, they say, is history. That's how I became the bad wolf. And the news reporters found out about the two pigs that I ate for dinner, and they figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all that huffing and puffing and blow your house down, and they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. That's the real story. I was framed. But maybe, you could loan me a cup of sugar? So, that story is the true story of the little pigs by Alexander T. Wolf. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you next week. Bye.